Hi, I'm Amanda and you're watching the Reading and Writing Life, and I just wanted to take a second to kick off this vlog. It's going to end up being more like a weekend reading vlog. I spent today going to some used bookstores and a half-price books in San Antonio, and I realized after we left to come home that I didn't get any footage. I took one picture right here of one of the first stores that we went to, and that was it. I didn't get any video of any of the rest of it, but I wanted to take a second to just show you what I got and then talk a little bit about what I've been reading and what I'm hoping to read the rest of the weekend. Okay, so if you saw my video last week, my last vlog, I am reading the Dark Tower series, and so I knew that I wanted to be on the lookout for any Dark Tower books that I could find today at the stores, and I had some luck. I found a lot of them. So first of all, I'm reading The Drawing of the Three right now, and I have it on Kindle, but I was looking for a real version of it. We went in 4 different stores today and none of them had it, but they did have The Wastelands, which is book 3 in the Dark Tower. They had Wizard and Glass, which is book 4. I got, let me see which is next. Wolves of the Kala, I guess Kala is how it's pronounced, from book 5 to the Tower, and Song of Susanna, book 6. So I'm missing book 2 and book 7 right now, and some of you are really going to not like the way they're all different sizes. Here they all are, but some of them are mass market paperback, and then I have a hardback down here. So I know that they're not aesthetically pleasing for the shelf, but the most expensive one was $10 and a couple of them were only $5. So I got those. And then the only other thing I got was this book by Sarah J. Maas, Throne of Glass. I have never read any of her books, but she's on my list to read. And out of all the stores, I only saw this in one store, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. So I do still need the rest of the series. I don't know if this is the first one in the series or if there's other books before it. Like I said, I haven't read any of hers, but I know that I want to, so I went ahead and picked this up there today. So that's what I got from my book haul today. So let's talk about what I've been reading. I am almost done with the buddy read that I started last week with Heather from Soggy Expat Book Nerd. We're reading The Blessing Way by Tony Hillerman, and I didn't know what to expect about this. I've never heard, like, his name sounded familiar to me, but I had never heard about this series that he's written or the fact that it was made into multiple TV shows, at least one based directly on his books. And so I didn't know any of that before we started. Anyway, it is very interesting so far. We're just getting to the really good part where you like find out who the killer is, but you don't exactly know why he is killing. And so some of our main characters are kind of trapped in this certain area on the reservation and they can't really get out, and one of them is injured, and just lots of stuff are starting to pile on. And I think I've only got 4 chapters left, so we're not supposed to be finished reading it until tomorrow to discuss together, but I think I might go ahead and try to finish it tonight just because I like it and I just want to finish it and see what happens and what happens to the killers and find out what they're doing, because clearly something's going on. They're not just killing to be killing. So let's talk about the Dark Tower. I finished The Gunslinger in the last reading vlog, and I decided not to start The Drawing of the Three because I'm going to wait until June 1st and pick that back up as part of the readathon that I'm doing that starts in June. And I don't want to get like part of the way into that book, and I don't also want to have to put pressure on myself to finish it before May ends. So that is the plan with the Dark Tower. And then, and if you watched the last one, I finished Mistborn, The Final Empire, the first book, and I'm reading The Well of Ascension right now by Brandon Sanderson. And so this one I'm also doing as a buddy read, and it's kind of like an ongoing thing. We finish one book and we just start another book, and we kind of go back and forth with who picks the books. So it's kind of like a book club, except there's only 2 of us, so we're calling it a buddy read. So anyway, we are reading that together, and then we'll go to the next book in the trilogy. We're not gonna like jump to a different thing, but I'm trying to finish that book by the end of May so that I can start the third book, The Lord of the Ages or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it up here. So that I can read that book in June for the readathon. And so I really need to finish The Well of Ascension by the end of May so that I can read that one in June. So I have a little while, and we're going on vacation. I'm going to end this vlog in a couple of days right before we get ready to go on vacation so that I can start a new one to record what I read on vacation. So I should be able to finish The Well of Ascension. It shouldn't be that big of a deal before June 1st. And that's it. I've kind of paused everything else that I'm reading because I was reading like 4 or 5 books at a time, and I was just feeling really overwhelmed. I usually read 2 books at a time, and I did pick up in audio, I did pick up from my library, I got Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. And I just decided to read through that series. I've never read it before. And sometimes when I'm walking and I don't need to get like super caught up in what's happening, like in The Well of Ascension, I just need like something light and fun to listen to. Then I've been listening to the Psy Changeling series. And I finished Slave to Sensation a couple of days ago. And I'm in the middle of this book 2, and I don't even know what it's called. So I'll put it right here. It's just so easy for my library. When one book is done, I can scroll up and it tells me the next book in the series, and it says, do you want to borrow this? And I'm like, yes, I do. And so then it just keeps going. So I don't even have to look at what it's called. So I don't know what it's called, but I'm reading those on audio. I'm not really going to talk about them much. If you have specific questions about them, I would be happy to answer those. But a lot of times when there's really long series like that, I don't want to go into a lot of discussion about one or more of the books, just in case people do want to read it, or if you don't want to read it, why do you care what happens in book 15 or something like that? So that's it. I am gonna finish The Well of Ascension. Hopefully I can finish it out this month, and maybe I'm definitely gonna finish The Blessing Way for this vlog, and then we'll see what the next book is on my list. Okay, I'm sorry about the headphones. I just realized that the microphone in these headphones makes my sound so much better, so we're gonna have headphones. Anyway, I showed you guys what I bought yesterday at a couple of bookstores that we went to because I thought that I was done. But then today, my husband was like, so they're holding a book for me at this half-price books. Do you care if we run over there? And I was like, no. Certainly, let's go. So I got to tell you what I found. Okay, first of all, I found another of the Dark Tower series, and it's book number 2, The Drawing of the Three. And this is the book that I'm about to start at the beginning of June. It's going to be one of my readathon reads for the Olympics readathon. Yeah, so I'm saving this one till June 1st, but I was happy that I found it. And that means that the only one I have left is book 7, The Dark Tower. So I'm covered for a while. Okay, also, I got The Shadowed Sun. This is the second book in a series. I don't have the first book, and I've never even read anything by her. I've just heard a lot of good things about her, and I do have one of her books picked out for the readathon, and I thought, well, I might as well pick this up since it's here at Half Price Books, and it didn't cost very much money. Another one from an author that I haven't read from, Robin Hobb, and it's The Dragon Keeper. And this is book 1 of a new series called well, it's not new, it's new to me, but it's called The Rain Wild Chronicles. And I haven't read her, and this is a thick book, but I want to read her books, and so I thought, pick this one up again at Half Price Books. And then the last one I got, I wasn't even really looking for this. This is the monthly buddy read, I guess we call it a buddy read, for the Shelf Space Discord channel. And it's on my list to read for the readathon. I could not believe that it was there. It just like jumped out at me because all I could see was this right here. And I was like, wait a minute. And so I picked it up and I'm excited about it. So it's Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, if you can't read it. I know it's written kind of weirdly, but this is one of the books that I'm kind of scared of for the readathon. Not because it's big, because it's not that big, but because it's a thriller. I don't do good with scary books. Speaking of, I finished Tony Hillerman's The Blessing Way. I'm going to scoot over. This book, I thought this book was written in the 90s. This book was written in the 70s. I could not believe, first of all, how much everybody was smoking cigarettes, including the children. I mean, the grown men were just handing the children cigarettes. Anyway, it got scary. I mean, first I thought it was boring. Then we hit a stride at around chapter 10 or 11. And I was like, oh, this is really taking off. And then it became one of those, like, the killer is out there and he's stalking you and you're trapped and injured. And now what do you do and how do you get away? So it became a little bit scary there at the end. And there was a little bit of a twist and I totally picked it out. I was like, oh, I bet he's going to end up being the bad guy. And I was right. And I can say he and not give anything away because there are literally only one female character in this story. And she is kind of dumb. So maybe another indication that this was written in the 70s. Anyway, I did this as a buddy read with Heather from Soggy Expat Book Nerd. And I will say this is my second buddy read with her. And this book is the best one we've done so far. It was much better than the first one that we did. And I'm just finishing off these books here at the end of May to get ready for the readathon. I'm so excited for my first readathon. Okay, well, it's been a couple of days, I think, since I checked in with you, and I need to close out the vlog today. I am going to be traveling the rest of the week, so I want to get this closed out and uploaded so that it'll be ready to go while I'm not going to be here. So anyway, what did I finish? I finished The Blessing Way by Tony Hillerman, and I have finished 2 books in the Psy Changeling series. The second book is about a different Psy class that we hadn't heard much about, and they have foresight, which I thought was really cool. Like, especially the concept that she used and the way she talked about it. I thought that was really cool. Another thing that I'm liking about this series so far in the Psy Changelings is that the romance is almost secondary to the sci-fi fantasy part of it, to where you're getting like the world and what the world is like and how all the different Psys fit in there. And I'm hoping eventually we're going to explore more of the changelings. So far, it's all been wolves. It's all been Psy and wolves. And even now, I'm in the middle of book 3, and it is a wolf and a Psy. It's a little bit different than the way the first 2 books were, but it's still a Psy and a wolf. And so I'm hoping that as I go along in this series, that we'll get different kinds of changelings as well as different kinds of Psy. This is our 3rd kind of Psy. So we're learning a lot more about the Psy, I feel like, than we are about the changelings. But maybe it's because changelings are kind of common in a lot of books, and so she's building up the part that is new and that maybe we don't know a lot about. But there could be some new changeling rules in her world, so I would like to know about those. I'm really liking the series. I'm liking that there are individual mysteries that seem to be in each one, like an underlying kind of mystery thing that's going on with the whole Psy Council and everything that's happening in the world between the Psys and the changelings and the humans and all that stuff. And so all of that is really interesting, and I am happy to keep going with it. I am using it as my like bedtime reading book when I just am laying upstairs, and either I'm listening to it and trying to play some games or something on my phone, or I'm listening to it and working on my puzzles like I do sometimes. And so that's what I'm using the Psy Changeling books as. And I'm just kind of using them as filler right now too, so that I have something to read and something to listen to until we get to June 1st. Now, let's go back and talk about The Blessing Way. This book was really good. I already said that it was written in the 70s and that there's only one woman, and she is just like a stupid woman. Like, she does the dumbest things, and I'm just like, why does she have to do that? Why is she like, getting hurt all the time, or a damsel in distress, or making the stupid choice and getting them in further into trouble with the bad guys. Like, anyway, I did really like the book. I thought it was very interesting, and the amount of Navajo information that you get is really well done. I know that this was written in the 70s, and from what I understand, the author is not Navajo. I thought that he did a really good job. Now, would I like to find a book now that's maybe written by somebody who lives on that reservation that he's talking about, or who grew up there, or who has more information about it? Absolutely. But for what this book was, like a cheesy mystery written in the 1970s, I thought it was great. And that's going to be it. I am going to kick off the next vlog, which will be my vacation vlog, tomorrow. And I will update you on where I am, because I am reading The Well of Ascension, and I am setting a goal to finish that by May the 31st. So the next reading vlog will take us to May 31st, and you can see whether or not I hit my goal. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you won't miss any new videos that I have. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.